welcome everybody to today's session, and hello to everybody that's watching the recording. But today is all about sharing how Capsule CRM can help you future-proof your business. So we have got a lot to cover today. This is the agenda, but just to say right at the start, there will be time for questions at the end. So if you want to jot them down or drop them into the chat, then we'll pick them up at the end of the session. So today's agenda is we're going to look at the difference that a CRM makes and the difference that we can make to our businesses when we use one. And we're going to look at who are post-recession winners. And we're going to refer back to the Harvard Business Review to have a look at that. We're going to look at an aspirational capsule. What are we all aiming towards? And where does capsule fit into this bigger picture? We're going to look at the common mistakes that I often see people make with capsule. And we're going to look at how to fix them. I'm not going to leave you hanging. You're not just going to be told what the common mistakes are and not have a solution. I'm going to show you how to fix them or avoid them in the first place. And we're going to look at some of the fab new functionality, including transpond, which really is rather good. And then at the end, we're going to have a summary and there'll be time for Q&A. So the difference that we make can be absolutely phenomenal. So I worked with Emma Ewing from Big Fish Training, have for a number of years. And she flew up to me at an event we were both at recently and said, I just wanted to thank you. Without you, we wouldn't be able to manage the business efficiently without Capsule. I have 29 training sessions booked in for the next few weeks, and they're all being managed in Capsule. So a really good example of how we can use Capsule to actually manage the work that we deliver. And I worked with Helen Steele from Streamline Consulting, and this is a really good example of how pipeline can be really helped, because for her, when she got it up and running and really using it, deals were closing 25% faster than before, and leads were converting 50% faster than before. So she was taking care of the deals in projects, and she was taking care of leads in pipeline, and on top of that, more leads are being converted. And then Caroline Barlin worked with her a number of years ago, and she's an avid user of Capsule, as is her team. And this is a good example of how Capsule can help us be more efficient. So by streamlining her processes, 4 hours of admin time per week has been reduced to just 15 minutes. As a result of that, she's been able to double the size of her team, and she's seen an incredible 40% increase in net profit in just 1 year. And that percentage increase went on and on for her for a number of years, which is absolutely brilliant. So many of you know who I am, but for those of you who don't, I'm Julia Blake, and I've been helping clients make the best use of Capsule and making Capsule help them run their businesses more efficiently for over 12 years now. And I'm a user of Capsule myself. I love Capsule. It's a great system. For those who don't know, it's a privately owned company. They're based in Manchester. The support team are great, and they're really, taking their products into the future. So they are here to stay. They're brilliant. But why do we do what we do here at Blake Consultants? Fundamentally, I want to help other businesses grow. And I see that business owners who are more organized are more efficient, they're calmer, and they are working more in harmony with their businesses. And that leads to an overall increase in net profit for the business. Now, why, you could rightly ask, because when you have a system that works efficiently, and when you're in tune with your business, then you increase revenue and you also decrease costs. So the increase in revenue plus the decrease in costs is going to lead to an increase in net profit. And we do that by having efficient processes and systems, Capsule being one of them, in place to help us do that. And that's what I help my clients with. So we've looked already at the difference we make with our clients, and the difference that Capsule makes and the difference that Blake Consultants makes to our clients. But let's have a look at who are post-recession winners. Now, may seem a little strange to think about post-recession winners when we're just going into a recession. And I also I really do love the phrase, just because there's a recession doesn't mean so we have to participate in it, which is, so true. We don't need to get bogged down by the media. Recessions can be good things. They're a natural phenomenon. They happen. Many of us have been through at least one or two recessions in our own lives. So we see that we do come out the other side, but it's about understanding where our clients are, because we may have that attitude and that philosophy, but of course our clients may not, and we need to help our clients. And it's all about meeting our clients where they're at, being mission critical for our clients, mission critical, as George Swift would say. And it's really important to understand that we may have a slightly different attitude to our clients. They may be really really feeling it, and so we have to be aware of that. But businesses do survive recessions, and there are opportunities in recessions. There's opportunities to help people in the way that we perhaps wouldn't have done before. So who are the post-recession winners? Well, the Harvard Business Review has published a report, well, it was about 20 odd years ago, called Roaring Out of Recession. And I do strongly recommend that you have a look at that, and we'll put a link to that in the comments. But it's phenomenal. And one particular part of the report says that companies that master the delicate balance between cutting costs to survive today and investing to grow tomorrow do well after a recession. It's a specific combination of defensive and offensive moves that has led to the high probability, 37%, of breaking away from the pack at the end of the recession. So these companies reduce costs selectively by focusing more on operational efficiency than their rivals do, even as they invest relatively comprehensively in the future by spending on marketing, R&D, and new assets. Because there is, of course, a temptation just to go, right, not spending anything and stop everything, but actually look at that, really sort of think about that. The companies that reduce costs selectively by focusing more on operational efficiency, okay, so, and then spending on marketing, R&D, and new assets, they're the ones that came roaring out of recession. So these guys' multi-pronged strategy is the best antidote to a recession, okay? It also, another bit that stuck out, that jumped out for me, was progressive companies stay closely connected to customer needs, a powerful filter through which to make investment decisions. And again, that's about knowing your numbers, really drilling down on the numbers. How many phone calls do you need to make to get appointments in the diary? How many opportunities do you need to be managing to actually get the work in? How many pieces of work, of course, do you need for your business to function every month, every quarter, every year? So, go from that point and then work backwards, and it will all fall into place. But it's really worth doing this exercise now. Okay. So we've already looked at the difference we make, and we've looked at who post-recession winners are. So what is an aspirational capsule? Where does it fit in? Okay, when a Capsule CRM is working properly and the business owner is in tune with it, so the users are in tune with it, then it will support business growth by helping to sustain and even increase revenue. Because you can dice and slice the data and really send targeted communication to the people that you want to send it to. You know who your previous clients are, you know who your active clients are, you know who your potential clients are, you know who your prospects are. When you know that, you can send the right messages at the right time to these guys. It will strengthen and streamline your business by helping to decrease costs. Don't reinvent the wheel constantly is the simplest analogy there. You don't need to. You take your best practice, you turn it into a process. That process becomes a track in Capsule, and then you just rinse and repeat. So obviously it can be tweaked. There are obviously situations where one task is not appropriate in that situation, but Capsule is brilliant because it prompts you as the human to do the next thing. But we can only keep something like 5 things in our head at any one time. So Capsule will therefore remind us to do the things so that we can focus on other things. So it really will will strengthen and streamline your business, and it will help to decrease cost of sales and cost of delivery. It will make you more organized, enabling you to have repeatable processes, saving time and improving client experience. It's not just about decreasing costs. It will save you time, which is obviously a cost, but it will help improve client experiences. If a client has a positive experience, they're going to talk about you. They're going to mention you to other people who they recognize might have an issue that they had. They're going to think of you and suggest that that person talks to you. It will improve your view of the business by giving you a 360-degree view of your clients. And that's particularly true when you have something like Xero or QuickBooks or another accounting package integrated with Capsule, because then you see what's going on with the finance side. You can see what's going on with any opportunities that are being discussed with that person or that business. And also with Transponds, this new email delivery system that we'll look at later, you can also see which campaigns people have opened or clicked on, etc. So you can see conversations, you can see email threads, you can see any tasks or meetings because of the new functionality with the integration with Outlook. You can also see the finance stuff, and you can also see what they've clicked on regarding the marketing. So you really do get that 360 view of your clients. It also helps you get more referrals because it can assist you with setting up and running a partner program. And of course, you know, partner programs are absolutely excellent. They, if you haven't got one, do really seriously think about setting one up. And a partner program can be managed in Capsule. It's just a different use of the tags. It's a different source of inquiries or source of clients. So it's very good at helping with that. It can also help you win more business by enabling you to better manage your pipeline. And so many business owners manage their pipeline. It's probably not very PC to say anymore, but I was going to say on the back of a fag packet, but we probably, you know, that's probably not so relevant as it used to be 20 years ago. But a lot of us manage our pipelines in our head. And of course, when that happens, then bearing in mind we can only keep 5 or so things in our head at any one time, and of course, things are going to slip. So it really does help you better manage your pipeline. And all that functionality is included in the price. It's not extra. So it will also make your business a better place to be by enabling better and closer relationships with your team, whether they're employees or they're suppliers, there's, you know, the associates, they're all your team, and it can really help have closer relationships with these guys who, of course, are absolutely vital to running your business. So we've already looked at the difference we make, who are the post-recession winners, and we've looked at an aspirational Capsule. So let's have a look at the common mistakes that I see people make with Capsule. The first one is not taking the time to plan and map out the system prior to setting it up. So I'm guilty as the next person of just wanting to jump in and set it up and look at these systems and have a play. But it really does pay dividends to actually take the time, map it out prior to setting it up. So have a good think about it, and we'll be touching on this in the how to avoid these common mistakes. So the next mistake I see is not understanding the difference between tags, data tags, and custom fields. And they can be confusing, so we're going to look at that and help you guys with that. Also, the third most common mistake is not making the most of the pipeline, especially the sales processing tracks. As we've already touched on this, we can have a process, we can turn it into a track with a number of different tasks, and then Capsule will remind us as the human to do those activities. And it really does help keep on top of the pipeline. And the sales process does not need to be complicated. I always believe that the more simple something is, the more beautiful it is. So it can be, you know, just 3 or 4 different tasks within a sales process. And actually, I've written a blog on how to have a kick-ass sales process that might be useful for some of you that are watching. So let's have a look now and see how to fix or avoid them in the first place. So the first mistake was not taking the time to plan and map out the system prior to setting it up. And actually, the answer here, the way this is resolved is by knowing who your ideal client is and what you want to get out of the CRM in the future, and set time aside. Be patient. Take yourself away, get out in the fresh air, have a good think about it, because we design and build a CRM based on who our ideal client is, because we may only want to work with people in a specific industry or a particular job role or a particular geographic location. That all comes out of who your ideal client is. And again, if any of you haven't done the ideal client mapping recently, then do check out the ebook that I send out to people, because that will help you go through the steps to work out who your ideal client is. You can there's a step-by-step guide there to creating an ideal client avatar. So it's worth doing. Anytime there's a significant change in the environment around us, then it's a good idea to have another look at that. So do download that and have a look if you'd like to, if you haven't done that recently. But as well as knowing who our ideal client is, it's important that we think about what we want to get out of the CRM in the future. So, if you have a partner program, you might want to look, project yourself forward 6 months and say, well, do I want to know which partner referred the most people to me? Perhaps in your pipeline, you might want to look back and see why you lost some opportunities, because of course, if there's a theme there, then you can tweak what you're doing. If you're continually losing opportunities because the time isn't right, or the price is too high, or they're badly qualified, then you can change something in the process before you get to that point, so that you reduce the number of opportunities you lose to those reasons. So it's all about helping to inform and make things better. So do take time and set it up properly, and this is what we help our clients do as well. So any questions around this, then do I'm happy to have a discovery call or spend some time with you guys. So the second question, mistake I often see is not understanding the difference between tags, data tags, and custom fields. Now this is a tricky area, and we're going to spend some time looking at this. So this is resolved by understanding the structure and the help today. Now, take a deep breath, because we're going to be looking at this now. And I'm going to take a sip of water, because there's a lot to cover in this slide. Okay, I'm actually going to turn the heater off as well, because I'm getting hot. Bear with me. Sorry about that. Back in the room. Okay, so Capsule behind the scenes, because it's difficult to lose, well, it's easy to lose sight of this. It's difficult to retain sight of this when we're actually in the system, which is why we're looking at it now on a slide rather than in an actual capsule. There are three main areas of Capsule. I'm sure many of you have heard me say this before, but it is worth repeating, because you'll see how it all joins together. So the data bank is the first main area. It's the central storage place, and it's where you can do your marketing from. So that's like your glorified file of facts. All of your contacts, organizations of people are in there. And then we have the second main area, which is opportunities / pipeline. Okay. And we have the third main area, which is now projects. So this used to be called cases. It's now called projects. And this is where you can manage what you deliver to your clients. You could also manage a partner program. You could also manage any internal projects that you've got for your own business. But this is where predominantly we can manage what we deliver to our clients. And it can be, well, it should be a flow. So everybody will come into the data bank. Some of those people will then have an opportunity created for them if you're discussing a potential piece of work. They are now in your pipeline. Some of those will then go on to become clients, and what you manage will be delivered to them. But there's a whole circle, because if you understand what your product staircase is and you have a handle on what your lifetime value is for your clients, then you might have one product that you deliver for them, and then that could go full circle, and then you could deliver the next one for them. So the piece of work is done and dusted, and then they come back into the pipeline with a view to another piece of work, and then you deliver the next piece of work. So you can see where that product staircase really comes into its own, and really understanding what that means for you and your business. Then the whole of Capsule is underpinned, if you like, by an accounting software such as Xero or QuickBooks, and others, but they're the two ones I see most commonly. And then again, Capsule is underpinned by a glorified or a snazzy email delivery system, technical terms there, but it's an email delivery system that is giving functionality above and beyond an ordinary email. So with MailChimp and the likes of Transpond, which we'll be looking at in a bit, then you can send nice glossy images and you've got links in there and people click through and you can see what's going on with who's clicked what link and maybe they joined something or didn't, and you can really get an understanding as to what's going on. But Capsule, when underpinned by accounting software and then an email delivery system, really does give the majority of businesses most of what they need. I call it sometimes the holy trinity of systems, and it really does work. Okay, so that's the big picture. Now we're going to do a little bit deeper dive here and look and see how tags, custom fields, and data tags all support these three main areas. The first area we're touching was the data bank. Okay, so your glorified file of facts. So we have organizations in the data bank, and we also have people. Sometimes a person might work for an organization, and sometimes your end customer might be the consumer, and therefore it doesn't matter who they work for. Okay, so you might have a client who is an HR director at a big company. So, it's important that you have a person there and the organization that they work for, because although the personal relationship and the work is being delivered to that HR director, they of course work for that organization. And if the HR director moved on to another organization, then you'd want to retain the relationship with the organization, and then you'd want to know who'd replaced them or who else was on the team. And don't forget that when people move companies, it's a real opportunity. So a few years ago, I was working with a fab client, and we sent out a MailChimp campaign, and a couple of bounces came back. And up until that point, I'd taken that really sort of, as a negative thing. Oh, goodness, there's been bounces, haven't got the emails right. But actually, I thought, no, hang on. Let's just see, because if it's a hard bounce, it means that email address is no longer in existence, which means that that person is no longer working at that company. So I checked out where this person had moved to, and they'd gone to another blue chip company. I'd let my client know that this person had moved. They made contact with this person and, just sent a message on LinkedIn. Oh, congratulations, I see you've moved jobs. That's great. Well, congratulations on your promotion. And the person came back and said, oh, that's good timing. I'd like you guys to come in and have a chat. This new company I'm working for really needs your services. And they ended up getting a £500,000 deal out of it. So the lesson there is, if somebody moves, then follow up and send a it might not be congratulations. I suppose you have to just make sure that they had been promoted before you go and say congratulations, but just reach out to them, say hi, but also that a hard bounce can actually be a positive thing. It can be something that can help your business. Okay, so I digress. Underneath an organization, you can have a custom field. Now, a good example of a custom field on an organization is perhaps industry. So you might only want to work with a pharmaceutical organization. So it's really important then that you capture what industry organizations are in on your system. In organization, industries for organizations are unlikely to change, so we can, and organizations are unlikely to be in more than one industry, so we can have a list custom field, because with a list you can only choose one item, so you could choose pharmaceuticals. Okay, but then if you ascertained that actually your marketing was attracting people in utilities to you rather than pharmaceuticals, then there's something wrong with your marketing that needs to be tweaked. So really valuable information there. So we can have custom fields that are just available for organizations, and you can have multiple custom fields. We also have tags. Tags are a way of grouping contacts, be it organization or person, and typically they help us see where an organization or a person is on their journey with us. So tags that I inevitably create for clients, and that the majority of you guys really should have in your system, are things like prospect, people that are just coming into your world. and then they may start a conversation with you, and you can change the tag to client potential, and then they'd have an opportunity created for them, and we'll look at that in a minute. And then you've had the conversation with them and they decide to work with you. So the tag will then change to client active. Now, the reason I'm putting the word client first is that tags are alphabetized. So if you do that, then it helps the eye quickly choose which tag to apply to a contact. So then, when just going back to the journey there, when a client has had the work delivered to them, then they become a previous client. And so the tag will change to previous client. So you can see we've got prospect, client potential, client active, client previous, and that's the whole journey covered then with that organization or with that person. So if you're dicing and slicing your data, you could say to Capsule, I want a list of all the active clients, and then all the active clients pop up, or your previous clients, because don't forget, previous clients are your low-lying fruit often. They're people that already know and love you, and therefore they're going to be more likely to purchase something from you in the future. So do keep in close contact with your previous clients. You never know where that might lead. So we have multiple tags on organizations, and then we have data tags. This is often where I see confusion. A data tag and a tag look the same on the system for all intents and purposes. But when a data tag is applied, another screen pops up with asking for some information that only relates to that tag. Okay, so it adds a layer of sophistication to the system. A good example of a data tag is networking. So when we apply a tag / data tag called networking, then behind the scenes, we've added some custom fields just to that data tag networking, such as which networking event, or areas of interest in conversation, or date of networking event. Those custom fields, which networking event, areas of interest, conversation, and date, will only pop up if the networking tag / data tag is applied, because those three areas, those three custom fields aren't relevant to the entire group of organizations on your business, only to the ones that you've met at a networking event. Okay, so does that make sense? Hopefully that makes sense. It will make more sense when we actually look at Capsule itself. But fundamentally, a data tag has its own group of custom fields available to it to be completed when it's added. Okay, so we can have all of those things on the organization, but we can also have all of those things on the person. So a custom field that's relevant to the person, you might have a checkbox that says business owner if you want to work with business owners. You might perhaps have a list of functions or roles within an organization. That might be C-suite, board, senior management, middle management. So you may only want to work with C-suite individuals, so you'd have to identify them as C-suite, and you can do that through a custom field. And then we have tags. Again, we could use the same tags as on the organization: prospect, client potential, client active, client previous. Or we could have tags such as partner or supplier, or even friends and family could be added as a tag. So we could have multiple tags. And the same thing as organization, we have data tags, under which there are different custom fields. So networking is another good example here for a tag / data tag for a person, but you might actually have client active might be a data tag. You might have 3 different revenue streams, revenue stream A, B, and C, and you might want to capture that this particular person was a client for revenue stream A. So the custom field sitting underneath the data tag client active would be revenue stream A or B or C. And then you can easily drill down into that in the future to see how many clients had service or revenue stream A from you versus B. All of these fields are searchable, which means that they can all be used to filter the data on the system. Okay. So we've hopefully covered off what tags data tags and custom fields are all about. And then this is where it gets a little bit more complicated again. So another little sip of water and another deep breath, because not only do we have tags, data tags, and custom fields for the data bank parts, we have another group of them for opportunities. So a good example of a custom field for opportunities might be source of opportunity. So perhaps you might have source of opportunity, you might have referral or word of mouth or partner program or website or LinkedIn, but it's source of opportunity, which of course is different to source of contact. And then you might have tags on your opportunities. So you might have revenue stream A, revenue stream B, revenue stream C. Then we have data tags available on opportunities. So you might have a data tag, which is partner program or potential partner for partner program, because of course this is opportunities. And then that could be the data tag. And then a custom field under that could be different levels of partner program, or it could be, does this particular partner specialize or niche in a particular area? But as far as partners are concerned, think about who out there is working with people who could be your clients. So I might partner with a firm of accountants because they may have clients who are using Xero who are looking for a CRM. So I might have a data tag, which is partner program, and then a custom field would be niche or industry. So I could put the word accountant in there. Okay. And again, you can have multiple custom fields. So another deep breath, another layer of sophistication. We can have a different group of custom fields, tags, and data tags available to us for projects. Okay, so we have custom fields for projects. So this is the work a space that can manage what you deliver. So a custom field here might be date work started, terms and conditions, returns, and maybe a link to the T's and C's, because you can add files into these areas, or you can add a URL link in there. It may be date of kickoff meeting. The world's your oyster. You can put whatever you want in there, but anything that will enhance the customer journey and enable you to work more efficiently with your clients. You also have tags. So in just continuing with the example, perhaps this might be delivery of service A, delivery of service B, delivery of service C. And then of course, somebody might have two of those services, which is the case you add two tags. And then the data tag there might be, well, if it's service A, then maybe they need to have a 3-hour kickoff meeting. What's the date of the kickoff meeting? It may be team members. It could be areas of expertise. It could be any invoicing instructions. Again, the world is your oyster. You can have custom fields and data tags and tags in all three of those areas. And when they're fully utilized, then the system is very sophisticated. So we take a relatively simple CRM and really make it more sophisticated to support our business and our business model. Okay. And one last thing, so another deep breath. Opportunities are supported by milestones. Okay, so a milestone within an opportunity could be initial inquiry, and then the next milestone might be meeting, and then the next milestone might be proposal, and the next milestone might be verbal acceptance of proposal, and the next milestone might be send T's and C's. So the pipeline and opportunities are supported by milestones that reflect your business, and projects are supported by stages. So this is what you deliver. So the stages might be kickoff meeting. It might be initial draft. Then it might be edit of draft. It might be final version of project. It might then be right at the end, ask for recommendation. So we have the ability to drill down into the different stages of the work that we're delivering to our clients. Okay, so hopefully you can see that all those different components all join together to make a really good system that, when it's set up properly, when it's used, it really can be a clone of our best self. It really can be that extra team member. Okay, so the second mistake that I see is people not understanding tags, data tags, and custom fields. So hopefully I've removed the mystery around those and explained what they are. The third mistake, if you might recall, but it was a little while ago now, and of course we've been bombarded by all of those tags and data tags, but it was not making the most of the different areas, especially pipeline and the sales process. And we can use the tracks in Capsule to capture what our sales process is. So the way that can be resolved is through understanding, which hopefully I'm helping you have that understanding, and the help that's in this session today, because we're going to pop over in a minute and have a look at the pipeline and tracks. Okay, so already today we've covered the difference we make, who are the post-recession winners, what an aspirational capture looks like, what the common mistakes are, and we've just looked at how to fix or avoid them. So now we just take a step back and say, well, why is this important? This is important because the businesses that cope best will be the ones that have the processes and systems which support them, so that they know their numbers and can therefore make informed decisions. Because as small business owners, which a lot of us are on this call, we have the ability to be agile and to make decisions and to change course slightly if we need to. But the right process and systems in place means that we can do that in an informed way rather than in a knee-jerk way. Ultimately, it leads to harmony. Okay, a really lovely word and a really lovely sentiment. Harmony, isn't that just so calming? But really think about having harmony in our business and in ourselves, because if we feel calmer and more harmonious in ourselves, and that will reflect in our business, and of course if our business isn't stressing us out, then we're going to feel more harmonious and calm in ourselves. Okay, now this is an image I often share on social media. CRM, calm replaces mania. And that is ultimately what I'm trying to help my clients achieve. And of course, what I'm trying to achieve in my own business with my own CRM as well. So the next slide is just a little bit of extra help. I'm just going to give you 3 extra top tips. The first one, take yourself away from screens and drill down into that ideal client of yours and create an ideal client avatar. It's worth its weight in gold. Have clear revenue streams, product staircase, and really know what your lifetime value is of your clients. It will pay off. It really will pay dividends to take some time just away from everything and really nailing that. Because when you do, you can map them out. You can create a customer journey. You can identify what the customer needs to decide to make a decision about working with you probably at each point in this process. Okay, so I am helping a lot of clients with their customer journeys. It's always been part of a CRM build, understanding that customer journey, but I'm also now helping clients do it agnostically of the CRM they are using. And there's always eureka moments and oh my goodness, and lots of opportunities to make things better. It's well worth doing. So do shout if you want any help with that. But let's take a look then at Capsule itself. And oh, hang on, I am going to pop into Capsule, True Blue Peter style. Not True Blue Peter style, I'm sure they're much smoother than that. Can you now all see Capsule? Hopefully you can. Excellent. So this is a demonstration version, so you'll see lots of sort of generic phrases. Obviously, I'm not going to show you my own. This is a much neater version than my own CRM, which I probably shouldn't have shared. So one of the new bits of functionality is the integration with Outlook. And if you are a 365 user and you haven't integrated, then I strongly recommend that you do. It's a really easy thing to do, but it gives you extra visibility, such as today's events. So you can see that Julia and Karen are going to have a meeting today at 12 o'clock. And on Julia's record and on Karen's record, you'll also see that that meeting has taken place. So, and you can click through and open it in Outlook as well. So most of you are going to be familiar with the task view and the latest updates, etc. So the reason really for saying about Outlook is that the way that we upload emails to Capsule now is so much better. We used to use the Dropbox, and that is still appropriate in some situations. But by integrating Outlook with Capsule, it means that we can save entire threads. So if I pop over to Outlook, then I have, in true Blue Peter style, this is my demonstration version of Outlook, and I have integrated Outlook with this demonstration version of Capsule, which means that we now have this button top right, which says send to Capsule. So I've clicked on Handy from Vividly Simple, and I'm going to click on send to Capsule. Capsule, then another bar pops up on the right-hand side, and we can either store the conversation, or we can store the conversation on an opportunity or on a project, which is absolutely brilliant. We can see some details about the person, and we can even click on view all details. And if Andy wasn't already in Capsule, then we can easily add him to Capsule. So the beauty of this is that the entire thread is stored, whereas when you use the Dropbox, only the emails you send are uploaded to Capsule, whereas with this integration, and it's similar with the Gmail integration, the entire thread. So if Andy replies to me, then his reply is also captured on the system. So when working in a team, that's invaluable because everybody in the team sees what's going on. And then if you are a sole user, then it means that you can not get bombarded with all the other emails in your inbox. You can just go to the thread, go to the conversation around an opportunity, or go to the conversation around a project. Okay. It also makes it really easy to add contacts to the system. So if we go to the lovely Mike from Transpond, who sent me a welcome aboard, we can click on Mike, and then we click on send to Capsule, and then we can add Mike as a contact within our Capsule. So hopefully you can see how fabulous that is. It really is a game changer. It's absolutely brilliant. Okay, so that's the first bit of functionality that's new, and Gmail looks very, very similar, and it's really easy to integrate. Okay, so we are now in Capsule, and we've got the people and organizations area. And when we have the correct tags, then we can really use this area to drill down. Okay, and we can identify who the active clients are, who potential clients are. Now, another new piece of functionality is this little yellow circle here with missing important fields. When setting up custom fields, we can now identify whether they are important fields or not. And if important fields are missing, then a little yellow circle pops up. So if we look at Joe Blogs, we can see missing important fields. We click on edit, and then we can see that the role hasn't been chosen for Joe. And we literally, behind the scenes, can identify whether a custom field is important or not. Now, if it's important, it doesn't make it mandatory, so it's not going to stop you continuing with the rest of what you need to do. It will just highlight it. And even on pipeline, what happens on pipeline, if we do a list, then we can see that important fields pop up here as well. So it's really useful. It's really good. So let's have a look at Lucy Lemon, who works at Citrus Lemon Business. It always makes me chuckle. I quite like this one. I made this one up, obviously, myself. Anyway, so Lucy is a client potential. Let's just take her through a journey. So Lucy would have started off as a prospect, and she may have been on some marketing lists or been in receipt of some marketing. So here we have the first site of transpond. So instantly we can see how much better this is than MailChimp. So I have been a fan of MailChimp. It's quite cumbersome. I use MailChimp, but I am moving to transpond. MailChimp is double the price of transpond. In fact, I could even probably manage to use the free version of transpond for my business. Transpond is very closely connected with Capsule. I don't know whether they've bought it, but they're very, very closely connected. So Transpond's support team know how to use Capsule and can support Capsule users and vice versa. So very close integration, and it's brilliant. Okay, so we can click on open in transpond. We can see whether they were active or unsubscribed. We can click there and we can see what campaigns have been sent, whether they've opened, which ones have been opened, which ones have been clicked. So you can see really clearly what's going on with one of your contacts, and what's going on with what list, where they are in transpond. What I would say though, set up transpond and get a feel for it before integrating it with Capsule, because all of the tags, all of the custom fields, all of the data tags, and all of your contacts go into transpond. Okay, on the integration. So we'll put a link to transpond in the chat so that you can just sign up to it, have a play. But I'm just going to dip in just to show you. So we can go to open in transpond, and here we can see transpond. So we have the dashboard, and we can see here group or segment. We can create our own groups and our own segments based on tags and custom fields, also based on saved lists in Capsule. So in Capsule, in the data bank part, we can save lists. We can save the parameters of a list, and that list is dynamic. So every time we click on it, it's updated with the contacts, and we can use those saved lists in transpond. Now, one of the biggest differences that I see of transpond and MailChimp, not only is it half the price, but it doesn't seem to be a pricing structure based on number of audiences, which of course is what MailChimp is. It's a pricing structure that's based on the number of contacts, regardless of what list or anything they're on. So it really is phenomenal. You can import your MailChimp campaigns and your MailChimp templates into transpond. So I've got some groups here, Capsule testing group, etc. So you can create that, and then in campaigns, I have one in True Blue Pizza style here. You guys might recognize this. This is the email that I've sent out. So this was a template in MailChimp, and I integrated transpond in MailChimp, and I then brought in this email via that link, that connection. And you can see that it's all come in without any problem at all. And you can see this looks actually a lot easier to manipulate, to change, to edit than perhaps it does in MailChimp. You've also got the ability to have templates, automations, and forms as well. So it is my intention to move away from MailChimp, and I'm already helping set clients up on transpond. So if you want any help with that, then do shout. It looks absolutely brilliant. So back to Lucy Lemon, who hasn't opened any campaigns at the moment. That's fine, because I haven't sent any from that demonstration version of transpond. And if Lucy was on 0, then another box would appear here for Lucy as well. And you can see we've got the Outlook calendar, as well as the email integration as well for Lucy. So it's all happening for Lucy. So let's just project ourselves forward. Lucy is no longer a prospect. Let's say she is now talking to us about a piece of work. And a good tip here is to create a tick box just to remind yourself to create an opportunity. And then we can identify what service Lucy is interested in. Lucy's interested in service A. So we create an opportunity, and we can already see the pipeline value is there. Create an opportunity. We've got interested in service A for citrus lemon. and we can see it's expected value of 15,000. And we have the milestones here, initial inquiry, meeting, proposal, and then below we have a very nice, simple sales process. Initial conversation, followed by a follow-up email, then send proposal, then follow up on the proposal. And you can see on the right-hand side, we've said in 5 weekdays time, just give us a prompt and whether it's been returned and marked, and then we mark it as one, and we create a link to what would have been case is now projects. If it's been rejected, then we mark it as lost and we identify the lost reason. So all very simple sales process there in the form of a track, which we can remove that, and we could add another track if we wanted to. We can have very complicated processes here. We can build tracks like bits of Lego on top of each other. So the world is your oyster on the tracks, and you just go to account settings and then go to tracks and to build a track. Okay, so nicely segued there into opportunities and the sales pipeline. So we have 3 different views of the pipeline. This one I love this one. It's Windows based. You can literally just pick it up and drag and drop it. And then there's a nice little bucket at the bottom, which is lost or won. And you see at the top, the projected value versus the total value changes as we move along the milestones, because the probability of each milestone is different, and Capsule takes the probability, multiplies it by the value of the opportunity, and gives you the overall projected value. And then we have the ability to see it in a list. We can drill down by the service or whether it's a partnership opportunity. And then we also have the dashboard view here, where we get some nice graphs, and all of these blue bars are hyperlinked and will take us through to the opportunities. So the other new bit of news really from Capsule you may have seen is they have a second, a slightly upgraded version, which is double the cost per month, £24 per user, called Teams. What it means is that you can have multiple pipelines. So you can manage your partner program quite separately to your sales pipeline. You could even have different pipelines for different revenue streams. So if you have a membership organization, you could have a pipeline for members versus a pipeline for consultancy versus a pipeline for partners. So you get multiple pipelines in the Teams plan. You also get multiple project boards, which nicely segues us into projects, actually. So we have projects now, which is the older cases. And what we've got here is that one of the boards that I've set up, we've got the delivery of service A, B, or C. So I'll just click on that, and we see there that Lucy from Citrus Lemon has her delivery there. So this is interested in service A because she's now having service A. So we would click on edit and we just go service A, and then we would save. And we can see that we have different stages of the delivery. So the designer version 1, final version, delivered to client, etc., etc. And we can have a track that supports that as well. So if we go back to the top level view, and we can manage the deliveries from this view, and we can just move people along to the different stages. Oh, there we go. Or if it's completed, then we can close it or move them to a different board. And we can then drill down into different tags. So we're starting to see here how the tags, the custom fields, and the data tags really come into their own and give us this brilliant, sophisticated, bespoke system. So I'm just going to check the time. Oh, goodness. So we've looked at sales pipeline and we've looked at projects. The reports on the Teams plan are also better as well. So lots of extra reports there. So Capsule have said that any of my clients that want to upgrade to Teams can have 3 months worth of Teams for free. So if that's something you're interested in, then do hop on a call with me, have a chat, or just upgrade and let me know, and I'll let Capsule know, and you'll get it for free for 3 months. Okay, so conscious of time, going to pop back to the overall agenda. So we've just looked at, right, so the Outlook integration is relatively new, as there's a great integration with Gmail, projects, our revamp cases, they're absolutely brilliant. Do pop and use those. The mobile app is phenomenal. If you're not using that yet, then do download it onto your mobile. You can click through to Capsule and make a call. Capsule will record that a call has been made. You can dictate notes into your phone, and then Capsule will convert those into text, and then that will be recorded on the contact record, the contacts record. So really valuable stuff there. Email templates. We now have email templates in Capsule. There are 5 on the professional plan. If you upgrade to Teams, then you get 50. They are really superb because we can email out from Capsule and we can make use of those templates. Important fields we've had a look at, really valuable. And we've touched on the upgraded version of Teams. But what Teams also gives you is the ability to section off different groups of people so that only a sales team will see the sales stuff, and then perhaps if there's an investor team, that they'll see the investment stuff. People can be in different teams, but it means that Capsule can be used where it's not appropriate for some teams to see other bits and pieces in the system. We also have the ability to change and have different activity types when we have the Teams version. So we might have an activity type of LinkedIn or Zoom. We can add all of that. So that gives another level of sophistication. And we've had a very quick look at Transpond. So that was a whistle-stop tour, but I hope you've seen that Capsule can support your business by helping to sustain and increase revenue. It can strengthen and streamline your business and help decrease costs. It can help you be more organized, and it can improve your overview of the business. It can help you get more referrals by assisting with a partner program, and it can help you win more business as well. Oh, it's lovely to see you all. Book a discovery call. You know, got complimentary check-ins for you guys. The majority of you are already existing clients. So I'm here for you. Let's future-proof our businesses. Let's help as many other people as we can. And let's help our own businesses see this through as well. We're all in it together, okay? So let me know if I can do anything else to help. Lovely to see you all.